What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to be talking about something that I've seen a lot of people say, especially lately given recent events, all of which we will dive into throughout this video. But we're going to be discussing the entire situation of Battlefront 2 being EA's biggest mistake. Now, I'm not a flat out EA hater or anything like that, but I do not shy away from constructive criticism. If there's an issue, I'll call it out for the betterment of Star Wars games. It's the whole reason I became a game changer. So this isn't a hate video, it's a video that I hope can shed some light on an issue so it can be fixed. Now, obviously, what we mean by Battlefront being EA's biggest mistake is the cancellation and treatment of this flagship Star Wars game franchise and the repercussions that have come from it. This mainly comes off the back of what has happened in the past month or so, which is to do with The Mandalorian, player base rises across all three platforms, the insane popularity of the game, like servers having to be updated and replaced just to hold the influx of players, and all of it is for nothing. And that is just not right. So we are going to discuss all of that in this video. Now, if you guys are enjoying the Star Wars gaming content lately, be sure to drop a like to show your support. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel with notifications on as we gear up for what is going to be just a massive year for Star Wars games. But before we get into that, we have a sponsor for today's video, and that sponsor is Battle Legion. It features 100 v 100 unit player v player battles, something I wish we had in a Star Wars game if I'm honest. Now in this you can design the layout of your army and just let the carnage unfold. Now a lot of these units have unique and hilarious mechanics, and they're all completely customizable with skins and power stones. Now there are multiple game modes, so whether it's skirmish puzzles, the main PvP mode, bounty hunt mini missions, or epic clan raid battles, whatever tickles your fancy, there's something here for everyone. There is also plenty of new content on the way, including game modes, ranks, units, and the game does have an active Discord community with weekly streams on the Battle Legion YouTube channel, so there's a fair community going on there. Now, a new major update came to the game in the form of clan raids, and as you can see in the gameplay, it gets pretty hectic. You basically just have your clan work together to beat the hell out of epic bosses, so it's great. Now, this can be a really good way for you guys to cure some lockdown boredom, so be sure to check out Battle Legions in the link in the description, and a big thank you to Battle Legions for helping keeping the channel going. But now, let's get into the video. So getting into it, and it's no mystery that Star Wars Battlefront 2 has seen one hell of a resurgence recently. It started throughout the year last year in patches, even though the game was no longer receiving content, but it just about has hit its peak in popularity very, very recently. All of this has happened despite the game not receiving any new content since April of 2020. Now, a lot of this popularity was due to Battlefront 2 being free on the Epic Game Store for a week, and you can't beat free. So what was the idea of putting Battlefront 2 on the Epic Game Store, and more importantly, putting it on there for free? I'm having a tough time trying to make sense of that, as are a lot of people. This game is no longer supported, and it's well known that if it's not making money, or it's never going to make money, then it's not exactly on the priority list. So why try and expand the player base of a game that was left completely abandoned? It's just very out of the ordinary from EA. Now, I've seen a lot of people say that maybe they're doing this to keep player bases rising so they can bring support back to the game at some point this year, because Star Wars games are more lively than ever with recent announcements, and EA are going to be a big part of this future for Star Wars games. So I see why you'd think all of this, and I hope to God you end up being right, but I just don't think that's the case. DICE are all hands on deck for Battlefield 6, so I think the ship has sailed for Battlefront 2. As much as I wish that wasn't the case, I think despite the growing player base and the weird tactics by EA and the fact that the game was that popular that it literally broke the servers and they had to get new ones, I think it's done. But that still doesn't explain why EA are still trying to grow the game for free after they abandoned it. It's just weird. If they put Battlefront 2 on the Epic Game Store, but it had a price, then that's to be expected. But this is definitely out of the ordinary. Now, the only likely reasoning I could see EA benefiting from this is if Epic Games paid them like a lump sum to get the rights to have the game on the store, and in turn, it's put on there for free, at least for the time being. So that way EA still make a bag from this. That's my speculation, to be honest. So basically, it's using Battlefront 2's recent popularity and making money off of it where possible, whilst not actually having to do anything to the game, like add new content, etc. That's my conclusion to this, but if that's not the case, then yeah, this is just weird. Now, this of course ties into the overall topic of this video, and that is of course Battlefront 2 being EA's biggest mistake. So it's no secret that Season 2 of The Mandalorian was insanely popular and really just rose popularity levels up for Star Wars media, and Star Wars games was no exception. But of course, as we all know, there was nothing to really go to during this hype because EA cut live service for Battlefront 2 in April of 2020, so that's the first big mistake. EA couldn't capitalize on the hype of The Mandalorian, and if they had some sort of monetization method for Battlefront 2 in place for cosmetics, they would have made a boatload of money off of Battlefront 2 just through Mando content alone, even if it was literally just a few skins. The money would be streaming in, but of course, around the hype of Mando Season 2, people did still pick up the game, but they probably picked it up expecting all of this content for The Mandalorian, but they open the game and they see nothing. So it's probably not going to last long for many people that pick the game up, so they're also not going to hold the retention of the players that checked in on the game or picked the game up for the first time in this Star Wars hype period. That's the second mistake. And now, with the player base surges across Xbox, PlayStation, and recently PC, so much so that the servers broke because there was too many players, there's just nowhere to go with it for Battlefront 2. All these players piling into the game for the first time or coming back to the game, but where to now for Battlefront 2? The answer is nowhere. It's such a missed opportunity. Now, I jumped back onto Battlefront 2 mods recently because I was just completely bored of Star Wars games because there was just not really anything going on with the games we currently have, and you know, I had a lot of fun. But guess what mods I mainly used when I was having that fun? You probably guessed it. Mandalorian Season 2 mods, the content that Battlefront 2 should have gotten for real to go alongside this huge influx of players coming in off the Mando hype train. And now of course the Lucasfilm Games announcement, that's just brought even more people along. Like, I was trying out stuff as simple as a hooded Luke Skywalker skin from the finale, helmetless and repainted Boba Fett, super simple stuff. And that's why I say mods are the only thing holding together a growing player base, and that's all well and good for PC players, but PlayStation and Xbox, what are they supposed to do? There is just nothing within Battlefront 2 right now to hold the retention of this huge influx of players that Mando hype has brought along, and of course the recent Star Wars game announcements has brought along. Battlefront 2 has been given a very rare opportunity at a second life, or technically, if we want to get really technical, we could say a third life, because Battlefront 2 kind of died when it first came out, then it got revived, then it died again, now it's being revived again, but there's just nowhere to go with it. It's been given a really unique opportunity, but nothing is being done with that. And the annoying thing is, this is just such an avoidable problem. Now, don't get me wrong, I am really excited for the incredibly bright future for Star Wars games, but it just seems like every wrong decision that could have been made specifically for Battlefront 2 has been the decision that's been made. And I hope this video is seen by the right person. Like I said, this is not a hate video at all. I really enjoyed how EA handled Star Wars games in 2019 and the beginning of 2020. I absolutely loved it. But everything since then for the Battlefront franchise has been a step backwards, just one after the other. And I hope this can be recognized so some better practices can be put in place throughout this year and beyond. And hopefully, with Star Wars games launching into a new era and EA still making multiple Star Wars games and the license being expanded to other publishers, that can happen. But guys, those are all of my thoughts on what I think EA's biggest mistake has been, and it all stems from Battlefront 2. But like I said, I hope this video can be seen constructively, possibly by the right person, so better changes can be made to propel Star Wars games going forward. I really hope that this insane popularity period for Battlefront 2 is going to start putting pressure on EA to actually greenlight a new Battlefront game, or hell, throw a Hail Mary pass and bring Battlefront 2's live service back. Star Wars games have the potential to top the gaming scene, but it just seems like everything is being done to cut the Battlefront franchise out of that success, even though it's by far and away the most popular franchise that Star Wars games have. And I am just really confused as to why that is, and I hope something changes so just all of this potential for the Battlefront franchise can actually be utilized instead of wasted. But guys, that is just about going to do it for this video. Be sure to drop a like if you did enjoy it or agreed with anything I said, and let me know in the comments what you think of this entire situation. And finally, another big thank you to Battle Legions for sponsoring this video and supporting the channel. But that is going to do it for me today. Thank you for watching and have a good one.